You're listening to the audio production of The Death of Liberalism by R. Emmett Tyrrell, Jr., published by Thomas Nelson and read by Jim Bond.
Introduction. In the introduction to my 2010 book, After the Hangover, The Conservatives' Road to Recovery, I explained, about as well as I can, why I capitalized the words liberal and liberalism. There I said that moribund liberalism, and it was visibly dying by 2010, had to be distinguished, for clarity's sake, from true liberalism, classical liberalism, or as it is sometimes called, 19th century liberalism. Classical liberalism stood for adherence to individual liberty, to tolerance, to reason, and for many of us, to empiricism. The liberals through the decades had twisted all these values into absurdities. The vast majority of American conservatives are classic liberals, as George Washington was, and Benjamin Franklin, and all of the Founding Fathers. But to argue this point when liberals were dominant in the culture was futile. Now, however, the liberal mobs have subsided. Liberalism is dead. It died in the years preceding Hangover's publication. I like to think the book hastened the conservatives' recovery. There are, admittedly, liberal zombies still around. These living dead will continue their suicide missions, but I think even their end is near. How can they spend and tax when taxation is useless against the mounting debt? This country is a vibrant democracy. The founders set it up that way. Liberalism was based on false promises and ultimately parasitism. But liberalism is dead. I want to distinguish liberalism with a capital L from the earlier liberalism, the aforementioned classical liberals or 19th century liberals. For instance, me, and probably you. The recently deceased liberals were so distinct from earlier liberals that I am not even certain there is an ancestral link. DNA samples are not readily available, but if they were, I believe that, say, the late Senator Edward Kennedy's claim to an ancestral relationship with, say, James Madison or Thomas Jefferson would be dismissed as illegitimate. Rather, it is we conservatives who can rightly claim ancestry reaching back to the Founding Fathers and beyond to Locke. Moreover, we need not go through the invasive process of procuring DNA samples. We can make our genealogical claim on the basis of shared...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?